Science!
All right, D-Man, science this week for the second week in a row. We're staying on Earth. Yeah. It's fun, like when I'm looking through the different science journals and stuff, like I said, like there's always this wealth of stuff, it seems, coming from space.
But I'm wearing my space shirt today.
And
we're not even going to space. Look at this thing.
It's an awesome shirt. It's a Van Gogh NASA shirt. I love it.
You think they have to pay NASA to make these shirts?
No. I bet you
they probably should.
I bet you it's like a one-time deal where like the department store that you bought that, has a deal with NASA. Like, we pay you X amount of dollars a year, and we can use your logo on things.
Weird.
Yeah.
I hope that funds some sort of space travel, and I'm helping.
Me too. But anyway, we're staying on Earth because there's been a lot of cool news in archaeology, and I have two different topics: one about ancient art and one about ancient music. And I think they both are pretty interesting. And first up is art. The earliest known drawing by humans was discovered in South Africa. This cross-hatched pattern drawn with ochre crayon on a small piece of silicious rock, or silcrete, is 73,000 years old.
Woo!
73,000 years old. It predates the earliest previously known abstract drawings by at least 30,000 years.
So does this beat the Werner Herzog cave paintings there?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Yeah. And they did extensive testing on it. And basically what's crazy is
how do they figure this is art?
This is how they tested it. They took different types of I don't know, chemical compositions of the ochre crayon and the rock, carbon dated them, figured out that it's actually someone making that line. It's not just occurring
right,
in
because
nature.
the markings of that crayon or whatever it is are much newer than the wall. The wall's much older.
Yes. And it's just crazy the amount of research that's went into this and how this is like reshaping what we believe our knowledge is of early humanity.
It's crazy that they can find a rock like this, look at it, and go, that's part of something.
Yeah, totally.
That's insane. Who's looking at this stuff?
Because this rock, that rock, I mean, I would be like, oh, that's a piece of marble, right? Like,
yeah, with some lines on it and shit.
I don't even notice it. It's nuts. It's absolutely nuts. They went on, some of the researchers, they went on to say, before discovery, archaeologists have for a long time been convinced that unambiguous symbols that first appeared when Homo sapiens entered Europe about 40,000 years ago and later replaced local Neanderthals. And recent archaeological discoveries in Africa, Europe, and Asia support a much earlier emergence of the production and use of symbols. That's from Professor Christopher Henshelwood from the University of Bergen. This is insanity. 70,000 years old in this cave in South Africa called the Blombus Cave in South Africa. And I actually have a picture of this cave. Now, off to the left is the site where they're discovering all this, and they're dating back the production of the ochre crayons to 100,000 years ago.
Whoa.
So they were making these pigments 100,000 years ago, and we thought literally Neanderthals were using stones to, that's it. Like we didn't think that people were expressing themselves with art at this time. They went on to say they examined and photographed that piece of rock under a microscope to establish whether the lines were part of the stone or whether it was applied to it. And we also examined it using Raman spectroscopy and an electron microscope. And then they confirmed it. They confirmed that it was crayon. That it was 1 millimeter to 3 millimeters thick. And they confirmed, too, that this was a piece of a larger thing. So it was, the cross-hatching was a picture or symbols or something. They were expressing themselves artistically 73,000 years ago.
That's insane.
It's insanity. The archaeological layer in which the Blombos drawing was found also yielded other indicators of symbolic thinking, such as shell beads covered with the same ochre, and more importantly, pieces of ochre engraved with abstract patterns. And many of those patterns matched the cross-hatching on that piece of rock.
Oh, weird.
So we're really finding out that as humans, from Neanderthal to Homo sapiens, we were artistic right from the get-go.
Yeah. Okay. So clear this up for me, Jeffrey. Is it possible that a Neanderthal, found something, just put one thing to another and just started scratching it out? Or are we finding that they actually produced an instrument to make art and purposely made art?
Correct. We're finding that to make this ochre and the crayon that they did, they would have to take either plant or bark, mortal and pestle it down and make it to be something that they could actually put on the wall. So that little area is like literally their production laboratory 100,000 years ago. So we're finding out that it was premeditated. It wasn't like, oh, I'm just going to put this on the wall.
Yeah,
whatever, yeah. It's like, I want to be artistic. I want to express myself, and I want to use this to do it.
Wow, that's incredible.
Crazy, crazy cool. On the other side of it, we made another breakthrough with ancient musical instruments, which I thought was pretty cool. Turtle shells were widely used as musical instruments by Native Americans. Dr. Tanya Perez, the researcher at the Department of Anthropology at Florida State University, actually says that music is an important part of many cultures in ways we may not realize. Musical instruments have a deep, ancient history in human society and are encoded with meanings beyond their sound-making capabilities. Now, this is not something new. We knew that there were turtle shell rattles used by ancient peoples, especially Native Americans, because turtles are everywhere.
Yep.
But the thing is that Dr. Perez and her colleagues, they examined the use of turtle shells all over the southeastern United States as percussive instruments, and so many of them have always, like when we found old turtle shells, we always thought it was just their food source because they ate turtle.
Oh.
So they just, by seeing like broken pieces of shell, a lot of them were just discarded as, oh, okay, this is their food discard.
Yeah.
This is going to open up what they've found from being able to date some of these old turtle shells. They've found that we're going to have to go back into museums and look at some of the turtle shells we have on museums and see if there's indicators that they were actually used as musical instruments when we thought maybe they were just decoration or refuse of food or whatever. So that's crazy. Like, we're going to literally be looking at this in a whole new light.
Wow.
Turtles actually play a very important role in the indigenous people and population of North America. I don't know if you've ever heard of the turtle origin story. Native Americans believe that the Earth, or what they knew of the Earth, their area, the North America, resided on the shell of a turtle.
See the turtle of enormous girth. He holds us. I can't remember that. There's a saying, and on his back he holds the earth.
Yes.
His thoughts are slow but always kind, and holds us all within his mind.
Aww. I got goosebumps.
Yeah. You know what that's from? Stephen King.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's been used in all sorts of literature, but Native Americans were the ones who really believed that. And so they revered their turtles. And again, we thought, okay, it's one thing. Now we're starting to be like, wait a minute. Maybe all the turtle shells we've ever found were actual musical. They were used to keep time and beat and rhythm and like
crazy.
And it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Basically, this symbology and belief is imbued into the turtle shell rattles, which are meant to keep the rhythm and thereby interjects powerful symbology and spiritual energy into dances and ceremonies. And that was from her colleague there, Andrew Gilrath Brown. The meaning and importance of rattles likely differs depending on the region, but their presence in all these areas demonstrates that turtle shells were important in keeping rhythm among all ceremonies in early North America.
Wow.
And that's so cool. Again, new information that we're building upon information we knew, but like this is a whole wealth of information now like that. They really want to go to the museums of the world and start looking again at turtle shells that we've just had on display for 100 years and been like, it's just a turtle shell. It's like, did that have more meaning in this culture than we thought?
Interesting.
So cool. So again,
they were worshiping turtles and slurping them out of shells at the same time.
Well, yeah, they worship a lot of their gods. especially North American gods, even in Central America too, their gods were animals that they revered, but also would either wear their skin or their feathers or their pelt, or would ingest them and then become one with the god.
Well,
I mean, look at even Christianity. You eat the body of Christ. If you believe in that. Like,
but even, I mean, they revered them because it was a source of life.
Right.
You know, it was it's what kept them alive. It's what clothed them. It's, you know, it makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense. But it's, when you look at it from afar, it's like, they worship the thing that they're eating. But yeah, Christianity.
Right.
Yeah.
It's pretty neat.